The imposing Roshanara Cricket Club in New Delhi, India, and a celebrity 11 fielded by India's greatest Test captain, Tiger Patodi, are about to give our English Sunday cricket team a good thrashing.
Well, it's playing to the programme of how we thought we'd play today. Sort of basically just let them get a few hundred runs and then we just collapse, fall over and take it where it hurts most.
In the presence of Tiger Patodi and his Bollywood superstar wife Shamila Tagore, we did our best, but, well, we didn't really come for the cricket anyway. We came to fundraise for Leprosy Mission International, a charity dedicated to helping the millions affected by this ancient disease.
A lot of people look upon leprosy as being an affliction put on somebody for the deeds of their predecessors. The gods are affecting them.
Like a lot of people are forced to leave their families.
One girl, she is in BTC and she was married and she had 3 or 2 kids and her husband left her.
Some few years back I heard that in the state of Bihar they called all the leprosy patients saying that we'll give you a gift. So they all went and they tied them with a rope to the tree and they burned them alive.
They're not being afflicted by God, they're ordinary human beings.
The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. The priest must then examine the infection on the skin of the body, and if the hair in the infection has turned white and the infection appears to be deeper than the skin of the body, then it is a diseased infection. So when the priest examines it, he must pronounce the person unclean.
That's the Old Testament take on leprosy, though Jesus later asked followers to heal lepers in his name, according to the Gospels. However, leprosy still affects millions in India. Some of them medically, others because they're shunned for having leprosy in their family. In this film I wanted to find out how Leprosy Mission's holistic approach to leprosy, its causes and effects, is helping to change perceptions of the disease in India.
But first, just what is leprosy?
Leprosy is a disease caused by Mycobacterium leprae. It comes by touch or droplet infection, and it mainly infects the skin and the nerves.
And leprosy is a disease of poverty. It's generally the lower people in society who will get leprosy because they have unhygienic living conditions, their immune system is low, their food is low, and those people have nobody to support them, they have nobody to stand up for them.
My first shock, leprosy isn't some kind of elephant man disease. There can be deformities, yes, but thanks to medical advances, these can be corrected. And if treatment's given in time, they can be completely prevented from happening in the first place.
The main problem with leprosy is anesthesia. They don't, because the nerves are affected, patient loses sensation in the hands and in the feet. What happens in these people is they hold anything hot, they don't feel it, so they keep holding it. So then that warmth and heat leaves sort of causes sort of blisters on the hands and feet. And because there's no pain, they don't actually bother about those things. And they get infected and they become deep ulcers. Once they become a little deeper, they involve the tendons and the bones. Once the bones are involved, usually we need to take off the bone.
And if you know about my father, he was amputated with both the legs because of his leprosy. One head was gone. He had only a thumb and these fingers were not there. He had only a thumb. With that he used to catch a spoon and eat. I used to pray to God. I used to think, Father, Jesus, if he dies, it's good for him. If he dies, it's good for him. Because he used to go to the toilet all rubbing his buttocks. He used to walk like an animal. So that was his condition.
Not everybody has gross disfigurement. There are people who have clawed hands, but through reconstructive surgery their hands can go back to be the same shape. People will see a clawed hand and they will stigmatise them for that small clawed hand. Stigma is our greatest problem today.
Because of social stigma, patients hide their problem. They don't want to expose and treat. unless it become a visible, like disability when appears, then they want to go to the doctors and all.
So what form did stigmatizing take? Is it just ignoring people or just shunning them?
Stigmatized means they are. Thing is, you ignore me, it's okay. But another thing you say, no, you are up to do this. You shouldn't do anything. You are a leprosy affected person. You are made to be separate. You are made to beg. You are a curse for others. Because of you, our homes become dirty. Because of you, tomorrow my family will be affected. This is a curse which is given by God to you, and you should be separated because you are a sinner. And we are holy people. We are not sinners like that.
We have a lady here. She has her own daughter who is married into a family, and the daughter has recently delivered her second child, and the mother wanted to see the daughter, but she cannot go because she has obvious deformity, and she has told the people that she is not the mother, she is the aunt. So when she phones, she says your auntie wants to talk. She can never say that she is the mother, because the moment they know that she has leprosy, the mother has leprosy, they will divorce the girl. It has happened once. Now the second marriage has so far been successful, so the mother doesn't want to say the truth that I am a leprosy patient.
I mean, all these people, they come and tell me that Dr. Sudhir, because of this deformity, people still recognize me as a leprosy patient. And if I don't have this deformity, and people accept me in the society, so why don't you just chop off the hand? Oh, why don't you just chop off my leg?
504?
No.
462.
See, this is new case.
New case.
Figures for India are hard to come by, but today there are still 2 new cases per 10,000 people each year. In a country of more than 1 billion people, that's an estimated 220,000 new cases annually. Globally, India accounts for 60% of all leprosy cases.
That's a lot of surgery and drugs to worry about, but even more social stigma to battle. Luckily, charities like Leprosy Mission International are doing their very best to tackle that challenge head on.
Leprosy is also known as Hansen's disease. And Armand Hansen was the man who discovered the leprosy bacteria in 1873. We're still supporting because there's still a need. As well as supporting new cases of leprosy, we're still supporting people who've been affected by leprosy over many years. We have old people's homes, we have self-help groups. So it's not only the new cases of leprosy that need to be supporting, it's the people who've had leprosy and need supporting for the rest of their lives.
As we've already seen, Helen recently invited St Andrew's Church cricket team from Bedford to see firsthand the work Leprosy Mission are doing to treat, cure and rehabilitate leprosy sufferers. Welcome to the Village of Hope in New Delhi, the largest leper colony in the world, where TLM have a very big presence.
They didn't know how to even sign, and signing is very important to correspond or to negotiate with the bank. So we have 2 ladies with us who have just learned how to sign.
Here, the Leprosy Mission have set up a women's self-help group which gives out microloans to help set people up in business. It's a simple truth that people are less likely to stigmatise people who can support themselves. But why single out women?
If they are not married, the chances that they're going to get married in future are very less. If they're already married, the chances that they're going to get divorced are very high.
आप शुरू में आपको क्या-क्या मतलब परेशानियां होने लगी?
शुरू से पहले कुछ नहीं, दागी था.
Earlier she got patches on her body, and thereafter the hands and the fingers are got deformed due to the that ulcer. She lost her one leg.
What difference to her life is having the shop and Leprosy Mission helping out?
अच्छा, जब दुकान आपको दिया गया, मतलब पैसे दिया गया, आपको दुकान में सामान डाला गया, तो पहले से अब क्या फ़र्क है?
पहले से फ़र्क है जी, बहुत धन्यवाद, फ़र्क है.
क्या फ़र्क है मतलब?
I used to have to go to the market daily to get my stock, which was difficult because of my leg. But now, because of the loan I got from Leprosy Mission, I only have to go once a week to fill my shop up, and I'm earning more.
सप्ताह में 1 बार जा रहा हूँ, सप्ताह में 2 बार जा रहा हूँ. আমি কারো কাছে যেতে পারবো না.
I used to be disgusted with myself because I had leprosy. I don't feel disgusted anymore. I now run the self-help group here for Leprosy Mission, They taught me how to make bangles. It was very hard because it takes me twice as long to do it as a normal person. I spent 7 years in hospital, but now I have 3 children. I was betrothed to a man from the age of 8. He got leprosy too, and when I got out of hospital, we got married. I noticed my leg was going bad. It went black. So I went to Calcutta and Lucknow to see doctors, but in the end they cut off both my legs. I don't get any pension or any other money apart from what I can get from my shop. It's a daily struggle. I went from heartache to heartache. People say, you don't have any feet, you don't have any hands, but what can I do? I've got children to feed and to send to school.
लोग बोलबे तुम्हारे पाँव नहीं तुम्हारा हाथ नहीं मांगते क्यों नहीं जाए नहीं আমি বলি আমাকে লজ লাগে আমাকে মাংতে যায় না
It was a relief to hear that these strong women are now able to support themselves, though distressing to hear their stories of the years of disgust directed at themselves and by others.
This is the one I'm responsible for raising money for. Seven areas: Delhi, Faizabad, Naini, Chandakuri, Padur, Kolkata, and Barabanki. And the Leprosy Mission England and Wales is responsible for this community-based rehabilitation project.
Leprosy Mission and other charities fighting stigma have an even tougher job outside of India's big, fast-developing cities like Delhi. Rural India is poor and mostly uneducated. But even here the same principles apply. Administer medical care, health education, and make those suffering from leprosy self-sufficient.
Yeah, this group has a bank account in government, in a nationalized bank, and that's why they got 82,000 rupees from the bank. And they can use the amount for a year. Then after a year, they can pay back that amount at a rate of 9% per annum. But they have got 18,000 rupees from Leprosy Mission. That was on the initial stage. Because once they form a group and nobody helps them, then they think, what's the use of the group? Because they have a petty amount only. So Leprosy Mission came at a stage when they really needed money. So that gave it a start, and banks, they saw the records, they are doing well. They got some loan from somebody else, and today they are repaying among themselves. So bank also extended to give them help.
You're telling Arun, I borrowed money to buy a buffalo, then some chickens and then some lambs. I can now support my family. I borrowed 2,500 rupees and have already paid back 2,000. Self-sufficiency is the surest way to get villagers to accept leprosy sufferers back into the community. Giving microloans, vocational training and help with housing means that people with leprosy and other debilitating conditions like polio can not just stay in their village, but contribute in a big way to its economy. Witness the case of Dilip Kumar in the tiny village of Shrigani.
And he himself, as you see, he took training from the VTC, Faizabad. And after completing the course, he took 2 machines on loan. Because he had earlier taken a sewing machine, but he had to go 5 kilometers away for the interlocking in the clothes. So the VTC principal thought that he should have the resource at his house. So they gave him another machine for interlocking. So it's easy for him. He says during the season time he earns between 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per month. But when out of season times, he earns like 500, 600 rupees per month. But he is happy with it. He manages the family. And best thing is, he taught his wife sewing. His wife is also helping in the sewing. So she is also independent.
In yet another North Indian village, Full Kisari, I was shown some low-cost housing built by Leprosy Mission to house leprosy-affected people.
His sister, leprosy affected, and her husband left her. The house was given to her because her husband left her, and she is a daily worker, daily labor, and so it was given to her, and she has got one child, so that she can live, and then she can do odd jobs in the village and earn her livelihood.
And how have the villagers been having her here? Because sometimes that's a problem. So have the villagers been okay?
Yeah, okay. They are accepted actually because she doesn't have deformity. Right. Mainly in leprosy, if there is no deformity, there is no problem.
It's hard not to see this as some kind of miraculous transformation, because it's not so very long ago that chances are someone with leprosy would have been thrown out of the village and left to fend for themselves on the street.
All the work being done in these villages is coordinated from Leprosy Mission's training, hospital and religious centre in Faizabad. This centre is responsible for giving people medical care, education and trades, with many people going on to set up their own businesses. People are given help regardless of age, sex or religion. Lots of Muslim girls actually live there in dorms.
So we've got a student here for VTC today. She's also disabled. With the help of community people, we have got a girl, and from tomorrow onwards, she will be going to the VTC.
For this young girl, this is an amazing stroke of luck. For government-run help, it's virtually non-existent. The centre is run by a dedicated team of Christians from Leprosy Mission.
This place started in 1938 as an asylum. And those were the days when the leprosy patients, the stigma was very high, and the patients were thrown out of their homes and villages, and they had nowhere else to go. So somebody started this work of just giving them shelter and food. And from that, it turned into a hospital, a medical center, only for leprosy. But since 2002, there has been integration of leprosy work with the government health services.
अब लोग ऐसा नहीं करते हैं लेकिन ज़्यादा हो गई जाता है तो कहीं वो नहीं. So we are seeing the outdoor patients. We are giving medicine also for regarding leprosy. We are doing the ulcers is there, bad ulcers. We are doing septic surgery here.
Tell me a bit about the treatment of an ulcer like that.
Because this soul is anesthetic. There's no sensation. So we admitted here, and septic surgery was done. After that, he healed after 1 month.
Mostly people are uneducated, and they never come out when they know that if they are getting a patch, then they won't come and have the medicines. They just hide. They will go on hide. When it gets in worst condition, they'll come out.
In any family, one person is affected with the leprosy, so there is difficulty in marriage in the family. When he knew about that, he depressed, but only his family member knew about this disease. All the neighbors, they don't know.
So they kept it secret, yeah.
Yeah, attitude has changed a lot. It's mainly because of the MDT, the multi-drug therapy. With multi-drug therapy and early detection, the deformity is less, and it is the deformity which actually causes a stigma. So if there's no obvious deformity, people don't know that you have leprosy. Now we are detecting cases when they have only one patch to begin with, and so no one knows that this person has leprosy, and within 6 months to 2 years he completes his treatment.
It's a very easy disease to treat, and it's with the kind of treatment we have right now, it's 100% curable.
It's great that men and women of all faiths feel like they can come to the Leprosy Mission International Centre in Faizabad. They come once the cultural barriers have been overcome anyway.
In India, getting leprosy background girls, it's very, very difficult. This is the toughest problem we are facing at present. Because here we are having, in UP, Uttar Pradesh, we are having a system like father or mother or brother, they are not willing to send girls outside. Because they'll study up to 8th standard or 10th standard. After that, they'll get married to someone, and that's all, their life. It's really very difficult to motivate them and counsel them and calling them for training so that their life will be changed, their quality of life. Before, they don't have proper clothes, they don't have proper food, proper meal. तुमको कैसा लगा?
सर अच्छा लगा कि मतलब पहले हम ये था कि सिर्फ हम पढ़ाई करते थे ये नहीं.
I never used to have an aim in life, but now I have done my training. I have an apprenticeship here at the VTC. I'm happy that I can look after myself now.
हुआ कि हम ये सब कर सकते हैं.
सर पहले घर पर पढ़ते थे सर स्टडी बस सर और घर का काम करते थे.
फिर छोड़ दिया पढ़ाई. This is a 1-year formal trade and it's called diesel mechanic trade. And here we are having different type of engines. And the students now at present they are dismantling the engine. So that by dismantling and assembling they learn how to repair the engines. So they're repairing these 4-wheelers also.
Deformity. He undergo through reconstructive surgery.
So, how's your hand now?
Now okay, perfect, no problem. I can do every work.
So they.
Here, operation is came here to here, and after that they are cutting here only.
What condition was this in? I mean,
Like this before.
Increasingly, the medical unit is run as a community health centre, dealing with the area's rapidly increasing rates of HIV infection, as well as providing primary healthcare services like maternity care. As leprosy drugs become more effective and the number of new leprosy cases drop slightly, the balance of Leprosy Mission's leprosy work shifts towards rehabilitation.
So what's the setup here and why is what you do so important?
Yeah, here actually the government services are just for namesake. When you go to a government health clinic, you don't find any doctor and you don't find medicines. And the medicines, it seems, the talk is that they sell the medicines outside. So the whole system is corrupt. And the doctors, instead of sitting in the health center for which they are paid for, they run their clinics, the private clinics. And so the patients, they do not get any medical care at primary health centers. That's just for namesake. And so we have opened up so that we can give treatment to these people.
A similar thing is happening at the Leprosy Mission's hospital in Shadara, back in Delhi.
The work of the hospital is we are basically treating leprosy patients, and we've opened the hospital for general patients also. Now we have a lot of general patients also coming to this hospital. And if you see in a normal OPD, you can find an amazing thing, both the leprosy patients and the general patients sitting together. And that never used to happen before. But that's a fantastic improvement we've done in the recent past. And the future, I'm sure, leprosy is going to be like any other disease. There will not be any separate hospitals opened up for leprosy. That's my...
Is this the last one?
Yeah, it should be the last hospital that is treating leprosy alone.
But sadly, there are still plenty of people who require ongoing medical attention for the complications arising out of leprosy. The trouble is that these treatments could last a lifetime.
And what happens sometimes, if the ulcer is very bad and goes into the bone nearby, and we have to remove the bone if the bone is dead. The fingers are very badly contracted, and sometimes what they said, they don't know where to go. They don't know the place where operations are being done.
एक बार मैं ट्रेन में जा रही थी, मतलब यहाँ से दवाई लेके जा रही.
I was so worried about the deformities that I used to hide my hand under my clothes. But it got so bad that I stopped going out in case people asked me about it. Once I was on a train and someone asked me about my hand, but I said no, I haven't got leprosy. I've had an accident and hurt my hand.
तो मैंने मतलब उन्हें पूरा नहीं बताया कि मुझे बीमारी हुई थी.
It's frustrating, isn't it, that all of these people could have avoided surgery if they'd come for treatment at the time of contracting leprosy. But it's very impressive the work that Leprosy Mission and other agencies have done to try and change that fear of coming in for treatment. A few years back, the BBC World Service Trust ran a year-long media campaign to try and persuade people that food touched by leprosy patients isn't dangerous, that leprosy isn't hereditary. The government in India are currently running a poster campaign to try and make people combat the social stigma. And it's just so great to see the effects of that someone like Seema, who's a very happy mother of 3 children, is able to run her own bangle making business rather than being thrown out on the street and living in fear of being attacked or being made to beg for a living.
Sadly, some of those unfortunate enough not to find help will still find themselves on the streets.
Most of the beggars you see on the streets are lepers. That's the most unfortunate thing. I mean, they're all not born beggars, or they're all not born in the poor families. Most of them are forced into begging because they don't have any other livelihood.
In a very real sense, curing leprosy isn't about curing the disease at all. The current multi-drug therapy is 100% effective. Overcoming the stigma that stops people getting treatment is the key.
Is it a disease that could be eradicated?
Yes, it can be eradicated.
Or what needs to happen?
There has to be, the people needs to be informed about the disease, first of all, so that we can catch all the patients at a very early stage. Secondly, we need to have a vaccine, which is taking a long time. The process is already on. People are working on the vaccine, but somehow we're not able to produce a very effective vaccine.
What do you need more of?
Every charity needs more money, but our wish is to eradicate poverty. The consequences of leprosy are caused by poverty. So really, in an ideal world, we would try and raise everybody's standards of living so they didn't catch leprosy.
कौन सी कर्म की थी, छोटी बच्ची थी, इतनी बड़ी थी, उसका क्या दोष है? अभी तो बच्ची है.
It's a disease, and even small people are getting. His daughter is about 9-year-old, and even she got this disease. 100 years ago, they would have thought that it's because of some curse.
It would be easy to sneer, wouldn't it, at the ignorance of those Indians who stigmatise their fellow citizens just for suffering from leprosy. But, are we any better? Because before I left England, everyone was making jokes about you'll catch leprosy, your arm will drop off. I think for Westerners, leprosy is very much a, biblical disease. Although there are 35 cases reported in the UK every year, but it's in Africa, Brazil, India, it's very much a disease of the 21st century. As I leave India, I've been very inspired by the people I've met here whose desire is to make sure that it doesn't make it into the 22nd century.
If you are interested in finding out more about the work of Leprosy Mission International, please go to their website www.leprosymission.org.uk.